Hello and welcome to Baking on a Budget. Now this time what we're doing is pan au chocolat, or a chocolate croissant. These are very simple to make and absolutely fabulous. I've got everything that we need to make them over here, and I'm going to run through the quantities of the ingredients and I'm going to tell you how much this has cost. First of all, we have 390 grams of strong bread flour, and that cost me 43 pence. We've got 250 ml of lukewarm water, which we can't really cost. We've got 1 pack of yeast at about 8 pence. We've got 50 grams of sugar at 6 pence. We've got 150 grams of butter at £1.17, and we've got 90 grams of dark chocolate at £3. That's the expensive element, £3 for a bar of chocolate. So the total cost of all of this is £4.74. I'm saying we're going to get a dozen. We'll probably get 12 of these out of this, and that makes them 39 pence each. So let's get to it. First things first, we're going to bloom this yeast. So we want the yeast in a jug, like that. I'll put all of the sugar in with it, which is 50 grams of sugar. Just give that a mix. And here we have the water, which is 250 ml. I've just had that sitting on the hob for really a minute just to make it lukewarm. I want to get that in there, stir that up, and then leave it to bloom. Same as any other bread recipe. Right, I'll set that aside. Okay, so what we want to do is get the flour in the bowl. There it is, 390 grams of strong bread flour. And to that we want to add this yeast mix, which has frothed up nicely. Gives me confidence that the yeast is alive and kicking, and we're going to mix all this together. This is just a very simple bread dough, really. Obviously we're going to add the butter to it gradually throughout the process, and we should, as I say, get a dozen pan au chocolat out of this recipe. Now you can see right away that my dough is a little bit wet, so I'm just going to get a handful of flour to sort that out. Okay, so I've put another handful of flour in there. When I say a handful of flour, I'm saying about that much. So if you're making this recipe, if you're going to do it, you may need a little more flour than is stated in the recipe, but the best way to do it as the recipe, and then if it needs a little more, you can always add a little more later. But that's okay. It's quite a sticky dough, and it is supposed to be. So what we're going to do with it now is knead it. I'm going to knead this by hand, and I'm going to knead it for about 5 minutes, something like that. That should be sufficient. So the process here is just keep the board floured, keep the hands floured, and you want this sort of action for about 5 minutes. So I'll come back in 5 minutes and show you how this is looking. Okay, that's had a good 4 or 5 minutes of kneading, and it's much more handleable at this point. That's good. Now in the bowl I have a drizzle of oil, which I'm going to just coat the side of the bowl with. We're going to put the dough in there, and we're going to put a tea towel over it, and I'm going to set it somewhere fairly warm and leave it there for 1 hour. Okay, and about 1 hour later, there's our dough. Looking very good. Now I'm going to just put a little bit of flour on the bench here. I'm going to knock the air out of this dough first of all. So we'll get it out. What we want to do is, as I say, just knock any gases, built-up gases from the fermenting yeast. Now we want to divide this into more or less equal parts. Now here we go. We could weigh these, but for me, you know, if they're slightly different, it's going to be okay. And what we want to do is make that into 8. So cut in half again, and again. There we go. So we have 8 roughly equal sized pieces of dough. Now I'm just going to get a little bit of flour on my hands here, and we want to make this into a ball. That's good. Now I'll just get these out of the way. Right, so the next thing we want to do is roll this out into a circle. Right, that will do it for me. And then we want to take some of this butter. This is softened. I've had it just sitting by the hob for a little while to soften it. And we want to butter the surface of the dough. Looking good. And now we're going to do that with each of these pieces. And now we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to butter this. And we're going to put this on top of the other one. And we're going to make a pile of these. There we go. Right, same process. We'll do that again, and we want to pile them up on top of each other with the butter between them. And then next stage. Okay, now this is the last one, which I'm not going to butter. I'm just going to stick that on top of the pile. Still got quite a bit of the butter left, so if you're doing the same recipe as this, you could cut down on the butter slightly. Okay, now what I have here is some cling film, and I'm going to lift these up, stick them on the cling film, and we're going to cover them, and we're going to put them in the fridge just for about 15-20 minutes, something like that, just to cool them down and get them ready for rolling. That's it, and into the fridge they go. Okay, so that has been in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes, something like that, and that is ready to go. So we're just going to get it off the cling film. Now we want to roll this out into a rectangle. I'm not sure that my board is going to be big enough to do that, so we may have to divide it into two and then roll it out that way. I think that's going to be best, just looking at that. That's a sizable piece of dough. And we'll roll this one out into a rectangle. So let's just get it sort of formed into shape. And I'll just square this end up. Right, so what I've decided with this is I'm going to cut this into 5 more or less equal pieces. So we want to cut that. And one there. So this means that we're going to get 10 of these instead of the dozen that I first anticipated. Now, next thing is the chocolate. So I'll put the chocolate there. Just about an inch down from the top, I want to put a row of the chocolate, and then about another inch after that, we'll put another row of it there. I've just broken this up into little pieces for the purposes of this. And then we can roll that up, and that is it. Right, I'll continue this with the rest of these, and then I'll roll that out and do the same. Then we'll come back and see what we do next. Okay, that's it there. Now they are sitting on the baking trays ready for the oven, but before they go in the oven they want another proving, because these are going to expand a bit. I hope there's enough room on these trays for them to do that. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of flour on the top of them so that they don't stick to the cover, which I'm going to put on. And I'll just cover them with a tea towel and leave them on the bench, so to speak. So another 1 hour of proving. Okay, and there we have it. About an hour later, they have risen beautifully. Now what we're going to do is get them in the oven, but first of all I'm going to do an egg wash on top of them, just so they get a nice crispy outer layer. And they're going in a very hot oven. They're going in at 200 degrees, about 5 or 6 minutes. And then I'm going to turn the oven down to about 170. Give them another 10 minutes in there, or until they look done. But I think these are going to be beautiful. I think they're probably going to crash into each other a bit once they get in the oven. They will rise a bit more. So larger baking trays would have been a better idea, but these are the only ones I have. So we'll use what we've got, eh? Right, that's the egg wash done. Into the oven with them. Okay, they're out of the oven. They look and smell absolutely delicious. As I say, they were in the oven for about 5 minutes at 200 degrees centigrade in a conventional oven, and they were in there for about a further 10 minutes at 170. And I'm going to let them cool down, and we're going to take a taste. Okay, pan au chocolat, or chocolate croissant, as I prefer to call them. This is looking really excellent, by the way. Look at this beautiful texture in here, and we've got the chocolate at the bottom there. They smell absolutely beautiful. So although it is still fairly warm from the oven, I'm going to tear a piece off and I'm going to eat it. That is marvellous. Absolutely beautiful. Ideally I would have a cup of coffee with this, but I don't have any on the go at the moment, so we'll just try it by itself. But look at this. This is fresh out of the oven, pan au chocolat, absolutely beautiful. Now, as I say, I used a fairly dark, bitter chocolate for these. That is the way I like it. And it was the most expensive element of the recipe. You could, of course, make them with cheaper chocolate, if you wish. And out of that recipe in quantity, we got 10 of these. I was hoping to get 12, but we got 10. So that alters the price of them a little bit. As I say, the full cost of the recipe was £4.74. So that makes them about 47 pence a piece. Now, I did see that a local supermarket was selling them at, I think it was about nearly £3 for 8. So I went to have a look, and quite honestly, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. This is all butter, high quality chocolate. These would be at the top end range of any supermarket. Delicious for a light breakfast or part of a lunch. Serve them with many different things. I think they'd be delicious with a little icing sugar on top, just to give a bit of sweetness against the bitterness of the chocolate. But there it is. That's how to make your own pan au chocolat or chocolate croissant. Relatively simple recipe. It's just, again, time consuming, waiting for the dough to prove, etc. Which again, always best done on a baking day, which is what I've had today. So can I say, if you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, making absolutely delicious food, always on a budget, always very cheap, and always very simple to make, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. In the meantime, I'm going to finish this off. It's not going to take long, and I thank you very much for watching.